But we have a question here from Deepa, who asks, "What are your thoughts for Equinix? Ticker EQIX. Equinix is a REIT. Matt, you are our residential. You like what I just did there? You see that? Our residential REIT expert. That's right. Sell five. Um, Equinix. What are your thoughts on Equinix? Is it a REIT that you've ever looked at?
Yeah, well, the data center REIT space has done really well during the pandemic. Think of data centers as the homes of the internet. When you access a cloud-based platform like we're using right now, that has to physically live somewhere, and that's where data centers come in.
Yeah.
So as millions of Americans have been forced to work from home, more people are at home streaming entertainment, things like that. The need for secure and reliable places to store servers, networking equipment, things like that has expanded greatly. So I remember there was one point in early April when I checked my portfolio in the middle of the pandemic or the crash, and the only stock that was up was Digital Realty Trust, which is a data center REIT. So these held up really well during the pandemic, especially in the early days. As we're getting good vaccine news, they have started to pull back a little bit. Digital Realty Trust is one of the biggest stocks in my portfolio, which is why I don't own Equinix. Wow. That's their biggest competitor. I mean, they're the two biggest data center REITs in the world. Equinix is the biggest. They are considered kind of the hubs of the internet. Other data centers are judged by how close they are physically to Equinix data centers. So they are by far the market leader. They've traded at a very expensive valuation, which has historically been my limiting factor for investing in them, especially this year. I like Digital Realty better just because they own all of their data centers, whereas Equinix leases about half and then kind of subleases it to tenants. Equinix is actually one of Digital Realty's biggest tenants. They lease a lot of their space from them.
Huh.
So it's, I mean, they're both great companies. You're not going to go wrong either way. I prefer Digital Realty, but either, like I said, both are great companies.
Yeah, it feels like looking at Equinix and seeing, I mean, the yield at 1.5%. When normally, I mean, a REIT, you're going to see a bit more of an attractive yield, but I guess that yield is probably just tied to that expensive valuation that you referred to earlier.
Well, it is. And I mean, a REIT's taxable income and a REIT's actual income are usually two different things. I don't want to get into real estate depreciation and how it lowers taxes and things like that. But when you look at I mean, Equinix is making more than that dividend conveys. But yeah, and they choose to only pay out really what they have to and reinvest what they don't have to pay out back into the business to grow because it's a big growth market right now.
Yeah.
So Equinix and Digital Realty, unlike a lot of REITs, are very much in growth mode right now. This is a big growing market. Whereas like mall REITs, you want to focus on quality. Data center REITs, there's enough room for all of them to grow. Is kind of a big difference in that market. So, I mean, like I said, you're not going to go wrong with either one.